So our question today is, can long distance relationships work? The answer is yes. There are plenty of examples and people we can see around us, especially in today's age, of long distance relationships working. Now, the thing is, to understand what you are getting into, this is not an in-person relationship just yet. This is a long distance. So there are some things that you won't have in a long distance relationship that you can have in a in-person relationship. So make sure that you have your expectations set. Make sure that you know yourself and know if you can handle it or not, because the last thing that you want to do is to get into something and then get somebody else's heart into it and then realize later on when their heart is into it that you can't handle this and now you want to break up. So make sure that you understand what you are getting into up front. I would also say, with a long distance relationship, you don't have the convenience of being able to, at the drop of a dime, going and hanging out or being around or going on physical dates with the person that you're in the relationship with. You don't have that. So you have to find other ways, other creative ways to build that connection. You don't have that in-person connection. So you have to do other things, such as communication. You have to have a level of communication and talking to this person, a level of consistency to build that connection. Do things such as, send flowers. You could send flowers. You could send lunch to their job or to their house, send them lunch. Do things like that. You can still do little romantic gestures, even long distance. Find some things that they like during conversation and, surprise them with some gifts or something like that. You can also have movie nights where you guys watch the same movie and talk about it. Video chats. Now be very careful. Don't try to do nothing extra with these video chats. But do video chats. Y'all can play games with each other. Have movie nights, talk about the movies, watch TV shows together, talk about the TV shows. You can find activities to do together to help build that connection, even though you don't have that in-person connection. So you can do things to still, but I will say communication is vital. You cannot build a connection without talking to the person. So you have to have some communication. You can actually do dates or go to the same restaurant. If you guys have the same restaurant, let's say Applebee's, y'all can both go to Applebee's and sit down and video chat and order, dinner and things like that. You can still find ways. Also, make a plan to see each other. When are you guys going to see each other? Be intentional about saving up your money and things like that, as to where you guys can travel to see each other. If you want to go to his city or he wants to come to your city or whatever, what have you, make a plan on how you're going to do that, when are you going to do that, and make plans to, meet in person, go out on dates and stuff like that. But be very intentional with that. Make a plan for, okay, if this works out or we get to the level of marriage, then who's going to move where? What is the expectations? Are you going to move to his city? Is he going to move to your city? Are you guys going to move to another city altogether? What does church look like? Things like that. Think about jobs. Whose job is transferable, whose is not, So there are various factors. Family, things like that. How does family play a part into that? If you have responsibilities with your family, how does that play a part in that? So it can be, you guys are two lives coming together as one. So make sure that you're having these real conversations. Don't shy away from conversations. Have these real conversations about the expectations, about when y'all decide to get married and where we're going to live, things like that. So it's definitely possible, but just make sure that you have the right and realistic expectations and make sure that you can handle it. Let me reiterate that. Make sure that you can handle it. There has to be a level of trust, an even greater level of trust, I would say, because you're not physically in person with this person. Now, granted, you can get cheated on, get played or whatever in person, but you don't have any kind of security outside of their word when they're long distance. So Make sure that you guys are integral and honest, for one, and make sure that you healed and have forgiveness and are not holding on to bitterness and things that have happened in the past. So make sure that you can trust. If you have trust issues, it might not work. If they have trust issues, it might not work, unless you guys are working towards healing, actively working towards healing and bettering yourselves. But make sure that you can trust each other. Make sure that you guys are open and honest with communication and what's going on with each other, so that there's no confusion, there's no assumptions and different things like that. There has to be communication, because you're not in person. Again, you're not in person to be around this person and see what's going on and feel them out in person. You have to be open with your communication. Make sure that you are good with communication with each other. That is so important. That is critical. Bad communication will kill any relationship, especially a long distance relationship. So make sure that you guys communicate. Take time to pray, different things like that. The same things. There's same things that you can do in a long distance relationship that you can do in an in-person relationship. So, pray together, study together, read books together, read books to each other. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Let me stop. Reading a book to somebody, or having somebody read a book to you, that can be so romantic, that you guys take the time to do stuff like that. So these are some tips and some things to really consider before you get into a long distance relationship. You might find that person and they're worth it, but they may be in another state. So make sure that you guys are open and honest, and be open to it. I say be open to it, But that's my advice. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Have you guys been in this situation before? Are you afraid of long distance relationships? If so, why? Why are you afraid of long distance relationships? What are your concerns? What are your questions? We can have questions in the comment section down below. And if you have done this and survived and made it through a long distance relationship and y'all together, or if you're currently in a relationship long distance, what are some things that have helped you guys out in your long distance relationship, even if it was for a time? Or in the military, that's another form. Sometimes in the military you get stationed somewhere else, or you got to go to the field or whatever, got to go on the boat. So what are some things that you guys do in long distance relationships? So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to this video. And like I always say, if you have any questions that you want to submit, email them, whether that's religious questions, relationship questions, just life questions in general, you need advice about, email them to thereapysessions@gmail.com. That's THEREAPY sessions@gmail.com. We out.